Hey, good morning, everyone. How are you? Before we begin, I'm going to actually refresh my screen because I'm echoing. So just one sec. There we go, much better. So before we begin, if you can all just look at the left-hand side of your screen, there should be a chat box. My name is Kelsey. I'm going to be taking you through how to edit and customize your company website today. This session is being recorded. You will get a copy of the recording at the end of the session. It will also be posted on our YouTube and our Facebook page for you to reference in the future. So if you can go ahead, drop a line in that chat box, say, yes, I can hear you. That does a couple things for me. It makes sure that I know you can hear me. And B, it also lets me know that you know where that chat box is, so that if you have questions during the webinar or need more information, you know where to ask questions so that we can go ahead and really make sure that everything's making sense. So again, if you can go to the left-hand side of your screen, drop a line in that chat box, it would really help me out. Awesome, thanks, Pam. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So the first screen that you see on your screen right now is an overview of where you go to log in. So when you go to your website, which is going to be your IQ user ID, which is likely your first initial last name, .yourcompany.website.com. So for example, mine is going to be kfulton.iqre.co. And when you scroll to the very bottom of that page, there is a section that says IQ Web Login. And when you click on that IQ Web Login, it's going to pop up with a username and password box. And you're going to put your username and password in. Now, that username and password is the same username and password as you use to log into your IQ office. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to simply scroll to the very bottom of the screen. And then I'm going to find the section that says IQ Web Login. And I'm going to click on it. That opens up the user ID and password box. And we click Log In. Now you know that you've entered into your editing mode because you get a black bar across the top of the screen. So that black bar across the top of the screen is how you know you're in edit mode. If a consumer goes to your website while you are editing it, you do not need to worry. This does not take your website down. It keeps it up and running for your customers. You're just editing and changing things from the back end. So how many of you are currently using your IQ web page and you've logged in, you've edited it, or how many of you are changing over? And then how many of you are brand new? If you can type brand new, switching, or active user in that chat box, that gives me a little bit of an idea of who I'm speaking to today. Hey, Net. Hey, Clarissa, Janet, and Kurt. Thanks for joining us. Awesome. Perfect. So we've got some brand new, we've got some editors, we've got some active users. Hey, Yvonne, no worries about being late. Cool. So here is what I'm going to say is for all of you that are new, we're going to start at that point. For those of you that are active users, if you have tips and tricks that you've used while editing your website and doing things, I would highly encourage you to share them in that chat box. Everybody can see them, and it's always good to get tips and tricks from other people who are successful using a software. So when you log in, Maria, this is online later. Yep, we are recording it, and it will be emailed to you as well. So where you're going to start is underneath this design. So when you click the design tab, you're going to be able to go in, and it will always highlight your current design. So there will be a picture of the layout, and then it will give you a bullet point of all of the features that are underneath that specific design. As you scroll to the bottom of your screen, you're going to see tiles of all the different designs that are available. So you can go in, you can look at design 21. Again, the picture of the layout and the bullet points. As you're looking at designs, don't get hung up by the images or the text on the page. The text and the images are all editable. You also can hide individual sections if you would like. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to scroll in, we're going to look at all the different designs, and then we're going to go ahead and select whichever design you like the layout of the most. So you could go in and you could say, hey, I like this layout, or I really like design number 24. Then you're going to choose your color scheme here. So do you want black buttons, gray buttons, orange buttons, pink buttons, blue buttons, whatever color buttons you'd like. And you're going to click the green, use this design page. Now, I'm going to scroll out a little bit. I zoomed way in for the class I taught right before this. So this is the layout that it's going to show. Again, you can see your logo in the left-hand corner, your information in this corner. If you've chosen a different design, it's going to show a different design than this. So as you scroll down, you can see there's many different panels. Once you've chosen your design, you're going to click this edit page in the upper right-hand corner. And when you do that, you're going to see these gray pencils here, here, and that means that you can edit that section. Pam has a great question. I have the same line across the left-hand top that annoys me. What is that from? So Pam, that is likely pulling from the design that you chose. And most of the time that is editable. So if I click on this edit button here, it's going to pop open the edit screen. And then I can see here that there's a headline. And if I don't want this headline to say find a home, I could actually say search for your dream property. Or if you have a tagline you want to use, you can absolutely type that headline in. You then can choose, do you want to show for lease or for sale properties? What type of properties do you want this search to look for? Do you want it to link to a subtype of resale or lease? And is there a minimum listing price you'd like to set? So you can choose all of that. On the left-hand side, you're going to see the image, and across the top, you'll see different tabs. Each of those tabs shows an image. You can change that image by clicking the blue change button in the lower right-hand corner. If you don't want to show a slide, you have to keep the first slide there. But underneath slides 2 through 6, you will see a section that says show, where you can go and say, hey, I want to show this, yes or no. There are certain designs that also have the option for video. So if you want video, there are stock videos that you can use. Or if you have a YouTube video you would like to insert, you could insert a video YouTube into this URL and save it as well. Once you've made all of your selections, you're going to click OK. What I do want to do is show you how to change an image. So you click that blue change image. You can upload your own images here. You also can use stock images underneath Realistic IQ. And there are a lot of photos in here. You can go in, you can look at luxury homes. You could say, hey, I want to do some lifestyle photos. Once you find the image you like, you'll click select, and it will automatically save that photo. Then I'm going to click OK, and it's going to change that photo on the slide that I selected. Now, anytime that you see this green save button in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to click save. If you don't, what will for surely happen is your best client who you haven't heard from in 6 months to a year will call you, need immediate assistance, you won't click save, and then you'll be very sad because you'll have to start all over. And the only thing more frustrating than technology is forgetting to save your changes and having to start all over. Absolutely, Jane. So what we did is that green save button only shows up when something needs to be saved. So if you go in and you edit something, if I go in and I change this photo, it appears in the upper right-hand corner whenever it needs to be saved. Once you've saved, that button disappears, so you know that you've saved all your changes to date. If I scroll through, I can then see, here's that change. As you scroll down, you'll see little white buttons on the right-hand side. So as I scroll down, if I see a section that I don't want to include, so say perhaps I don't want to include this Your Home Play video, I can click on this hide button, click OK, and now again, there's that green save button. It will show the YouTube section is hidden. Click here to show, or I know that that section is hidden. For your consumers, when you are not in edit mode, this section does not show. So if I log out in order to see what it looks like to my consumer and exit out of my edit mode, it's going to open up. As I scroll down, I can see that YouTube section is not here. Any questions so far about how to choose a design or edit a photo or hide a section? There is no such thing as a silly question. If you have the question, someone else also probably has the question. And our goal is that you get all of your questions answered. So let's talk about how to change these tiles or this information. Any of the sections, again, that have that gray edit circle, you're going to be able to edit them. So Kurt asked, my area section single panel are hidden. Kurt, if you want to show that section, you're just going to say, click here to show and click OK, and it will unhide that section. So if you want to show it, just click unhide or show this section. So if you want to say edit these tiles, so look, like here I have my listings, and then I also have selling a home, but it's the same image. Again, we're going to click that gray edit button. And now on the panels, I have the option to share up to 6 panels. So if I decide I only want 3 panels, I can do that. And then I'm going to say, okay, panel 1, this says finding a home. It says discover how the dream of finding a home can be a reality. It's going to say, let's get started. And then the link goes to my portal. So if you want to change where this link points, you're going to click the blue select IQ link. And then you're going to choose where that goes. So you might say, hey, I want this to be a lead source. I want it to be a request for information. And now that's where it's going to take. Annalise, I see your question. I'm going to come back to it in just a second. I then would go to panel 2. This says, hey, selling a home. This is where I want it to go. Yep, but I don't like this photo. So I'm going to change that photo to say, hey, a real estate photo. And I'm going to choose this photo. And again, panel 3. So this says find your office. I'm going to say learn more about me. And I'm going to say it is important to take your time finding an agent for you. I'm going to say here, the button's going to say learn more, and I'm going to link it through. I'm going to go to IQ Pages, and I'm going to choose my profile. Now, when I click OK, I'm going to see that green save button, but also notice I went from 4 panels to 3, finding a home, selling a home, learning more about me. So there is a question that says, is it possible to use or create a section for similar properties, then upload our favorite choices or great deals? I have tried to upload multiple MLS listings, but it wouldn't take more than 1 listing. So Annalise, what you're going to want to do is when you go through the design page, if you go up here to design, as you're looking at the design sections, you're going to want to choose one that has featured listings. So like Design 28 has 5 featured listings with customizable title and options. That's one choice. The other choice is to create an individual page with those listings on it. And I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So hang tight, and we're going to come back to that. Did that at least answer your first question? So there are designs for all of you that have featured listings sections. And in order to find those, you're going to want to make sure you're looking at these bullet point lists, where you can see here it says community section with editable community. Up to 72 featured communities can be selected. There's a lot of different design numbers in there. So 29 has an option, 28 has an option. 31 does not. Places does. So there's several different options, Annalise, that you can use. For that. So after you've edited all your images and all of your text on your home page, you have several other options for customization. The first one is you can link your Facebook and your Google Pixel, or your Facebook Pixel or your Google Analytics to your page. To do that, you're going to go up to the section that says Advanced. And there's a section on there that says Google Analytics, and you'll paste your tracking ID. If you don't know where to find that, all you have to do is click on the click here, and it's going to show you where to find it. To do your Facebook Pixel, you do the same thing. If you don't know where to find it, you're going to click here, and it's going to show you where to find it. So you can start to track your Pixel and your Google Analytics with your website. You also can edit your menus. So depending on what design you've chosen, you may have a menu that goes across the top. You may also have a menu that shows on the right-hand side. If you want to edit any of these menu items, you can do that. You're going to go to Menus. You would click underneath Menu Name Site Menu and click Edit. And then you can say, okay, I would like to take this menu item off, or I would like to add a farm and ranch home to my for sale. And I want that to be part of my for sale menu. Again, to get here, we went to Menus, Edit, and then you can select the menu you want to change, click the edit pencil, and you're going to add a page. Once you do that, if you need to save, again, that green button will show up in that upper right-hand corner. You also have the opportunity to add custom content to your page. So if you want your page to have more content than just searching the MLS, you can do that. You're going to go to Pages, And then underneath that pages, you can click add new page. You could click add new page, and then you would choose your template. So Annalise, this may be a good option for you, where you could go in and you could add specific listings to either a template 11 or a template 12. Or you could create a dynamic page that's pulling from the MLS based on areas or different classes of properties or showcase a property that way. So let's start with just doing a static design. We're going to choose template 11. Sharon, I'm going to get there. And we're going to click next. Then you're going to name your page. So if this is a investor property page, and keep in mind, this is a static page. So the type of page that I chose, I'm going to have to go in and manually update these properties. We're going to do a page that pulls direct from MLS as well. And I'm going to say great investment opportunities. So I've named my page, I've given it a title. On the right-hand side, there's a section that says registration. If you want people to have to register before seeing your content, you're going to choose yes from this menu. If you don't want them to do that, you're going to choose no. Then we're going to click OK. Once you click OK, you're going to see that page automatically create. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to edit those. So I could go in, I could edit this, and I may want to upload an image of that property. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to say, okay, you can use a stock photo if you'd like. Or if you have a picture of the home, you would upload it. Select the photo, it's going to insert into that spot. Again, Jane, there's that green save button. And then I'm going to do a header, multifamily option. I'm going to type my information and I may link out to that listing specific page on my website. So if I edit this text, I can say, okay, this is a great opportunity with lots of upswing on the rents. Cap rate is XYZ. Click here to learn more. Then I can insert a link. To do that, I would highlight this information. I would click this link here and I would paste the URL. Now, after I'm done making those changes, Sharon asked a really good question. So I've made this page, and where does it link to? Right now, when you're in edit mode, the only way that people are going to find this page is if they have this very specific link. So if you click on this specific link I just put in the chat box, it will open up this page. But if you don't have this link, it is not attached to any of your menu items on your website, and it's not likely that a consumer is going to go in and type in http://kfulton.iqre.co/investor property page. That's just not something people are typing into a search bar. Jane, I just got that from the up here in the search bar. I just copied it from the search bar up here. Once you're done making those changes, so hey, I've gone through, I've made all my changes, and now, Sharon, I'm ready to attach it to a menu, right? I'm going to go back to my menu section. I'm going to edit that, and then I'm going to say I want to add this to my for sale menu item. I'm going to click on custom pages, and I can see here's my investor property page. Add. And now it's linked to a menu. So while you are in edit mode, it is not attached to a menu, so your consumers aren't finding it. Once you're done editing your page, then you can attach it to a menu item so your consumers can find it. Yes, you can. So Jane asked a really good question. What if I want to create another menu? You can actually click plus new menu, and you would add that menu here, and you could add another menu. Yes. If you never want this page to be attached to a menu, or you link it and then you decide you don't want it, again, you can go into that site menu. I can find my investor special page and I can click garbage, and that is gone. For some of you were in the last class that I just did at 8 o'clock. For those of you that weren't, if you want this page to be something you just save from time to time and you share it manually, you can save that as a favorite bookmark site by clicking the star next to the URL, and then you can save it as a bookmark so you can get back to it over and over again. Yeah, Annette, once you click delete, if you want to edit and re-add that menu item, you would just go in, you would say, hey, I want to edit this page and I want to re-add it to that page. So when you delete it from the menu item, you're not deleting the page. You're only deleting the hyperlink to the menu item. Now, if you are in the pages button and I say, hey, I want to delete this investor property page, it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to delete it? Because once I click OK there, it's gone forever and you'd have to rebuild it. Does that answer your question, Annette and Jane and Sharon? And I think that's everybody that had a question on that. So if you delete the page from the page manager, then it deletes the page in its entirety. If you delete the link from the menu page, it's only deleting the link. Awesome. So what about dynamic pages? You can also create dynamic pages. Those are automatically pulling information from somewhere. So listings, areas 2, we can click on areas 2. We're going to click next. Annette, I'm going to talk about what you just posted in a moment. I'm going to say, hey, this is my greater Las Vegas area page. I'm going to say not all glitter in the desert. Again, you can choose if it's registration required, yes or no, and click OK. Once, I'm going to come back to your question, Sharon, again in just a minute. And you can edit this information as well. So again, there's a picture at the top, there's text you can change, and then you can also change these listings. So I can type in areas. I can choose to only show my listings. I can choose only to show the company pick listings first, and I can type in areas. It's going to pull those areas directly from your MLS. You choose your price min, your price max. How many properties do you want to show? Do you want to show 21 properties, or do you want to show 348 properties? You choose how many are displayed, and you click OK. Once you've made all your changes, you can link that to a menu. So on the menus, we're going to go in again, and we're going to edit this, and you are going to add it. So Sharon asked, where does the customer see the link on the home page? Sharon, the customer sees the link on the home page wherever you add it to that menu. So you can add it to a menu item here, or if you're on your home page, you also can link it through to a tile. So if you didn't want it to be a menu item, you wanted it to link through to one of these tiles, you could select the IQ link here, and say, hey, I want a custom page, Greater Las Vegas area, and now it's going to link through that way as where. Kurt, the site menus appear on your main website. Depending on the design you displayed, they'll show across the top as menu items here, or they'll show on the right-hand side under menu here. It depends on what design you've chosen to where that menu shows. Annette asked the question that it would be nice to make it inactive instead of deleting. Annette, once you detach that page from a menu, the consumer cannot find it without a direct link, and so it is in a sense inactive. On the site menu, I have a save button and it doesn't seem to work. Kurt, what website browser are you using? Yeah, no problem, Annette. Other questions? The goal is that this is interactive, so more questions are better. Kurt, are you using Google Chrome or Firefox or Safari or Internet Explorer? Nope. If you're using Chrome, Safari, or Firefox, you should be good to go. If you are using Internet Explorer, I'm going to highly encourage you to use a different browser. Kurt, it's always going to work better to edit your website on a computer. It's just really small on a phone to be able to do all those changes easily. I'm going to encourage you to go to your computer after this and work on it there. Yes. This is all responsive. It is all mobilely built. So if you have a consumer that's looking at this on their phone, it automatically shrinks it to the right size for your consumer. Yeah, Annalise, I can. So let's go in. Let's choose a design. Let's go to the design. 29, I think, had some featured listings. Community section with editable community list. That talks about areas. So we want to do featured listings, 5 featured listings. So design 28. Use this design. It automatically updates. I'm going to edit the page, and I'm going to scroll down to where it says featured homes. And I'm going to click edit. Kurt, I need you to be a little bit more specific with what results you're looking for, where to view saved results quickly. I don't understand what results you're looking for. So I can go in, I can say, okay, I want residential, here's the prices, here's the listings to display. Maybe that's what you're not choosing, Annalise. So I can say, hey, 7 listings. Here they all are. Click OK, and I'm in a demo site, so they should all show here. Once I'm OK with that, I'm going to click Save. Kurt, once you click the edit the changes and you click Save, then those edits are confirmed. I think that's the problem, Annalise. So if you need to make sure at the very bottom, there should be a section that says listings to display. So that may be the problem. You're welcome. Other questions? So that's a lot of information in 35 minutes. This is what I'm going to recommend to all of you who are brand new and just starting the journey with editing your website. Go to your website. You're going to go in and you're going to choose your design. And once you choose your design, spend about just an hour on redoing this design. No more than an hour. Once you've spent an hour, get up and walk away. And don't forget to spend time on your clients. Sharon, I actually just did a webinar on pages this morning at 8 a.m. So that'll go back in the rotation, but probably not for another 6 or 8 weeks. You can check our YouTube channel or the Facebook page for that webinar. Yep, and there's also a whole bunch of upcoming classes. For those of you that are active users of your website, you need to start thinking about what kind of content you'd like to add to your website. What kind of pages do you want to add? What enhancements do you want to do? There is a question, Annalise said, what if I want to add a profile picture to the front of the page? If you've chosen a display that doesn't have a profile picture, there's a couple things you can do. One, you can choose one of these tiles to add your photo to. So I could go in, I could choose panel 3. I'm going to change that to a picture of me and click OK. That's one option. The other option is to change one of these header tiles to a picture of you. What I would do, Annalise, is I would maybe, you can edit an image, one of these slider images, upload your own and have it maybe be a picture of a house or something like that and have it be a small picture of you. But otherwise, you're going to want to choose a design that says featured the photo of the agent. There's some more changes coming down the pipeline that will give you that capability. They're just not there yet. When creating a subpage in the main menu, for example, for sale, you want to add townhomes page with active listings. There is. So when you change that featured listing section, there is a subtype. So you can actually go in and say, where is it? It's not in this one, but there is a subtype coming out. So there'll be an option to choose subtype in here. Or you can link it, you can create a dynamic page that is only townhomes and click it to a tile. Kurt, I don't know what you're talking about. So any way to have our website appear without going through an agent search? Norton may just be adjusting what comes up first. Are you talking like someone just put in your name and what website comes up? So the best way to get people to your website is to do some digital promotion and get it out to your whole client base. Zoho has nothing to do with your website, Kurt. Zoho is what the software you're using. So Jane, yes, in property searches, you can do subtypes. This specific site or display that I have done doesn't have that as an option, but if you're in your pages and you're editing one of those dynamic pages, when you edit the listings portion, there is a subtype depending on what you've chosen. So if you go into areas 1 or listings 1, the listings template or the areas template, there is a subtype. And that's going to say, hey, subtype of this property. Sure, Sharon, you can do whatever you want. But right now at Realistic, there's no one that is doing it. But if you have an assistant or you have someone that you've hired to do your website, they're more than welcome to come to any of our webinars and go through the process for surely. Yeah. Kurt, that's a question that's really outside the realm of my knowledge base and the scope of this webinar. So your site through your company should be secure. That's a question for your office manager. Yeah, so Jane wants to see the blog page. So if you've chosen a display that has a blog and you're blogging, it will show your blog at the bottom here. And it will show, when you click it, this is what that blog page looks like. If you want to add to your blog, you're going to do that in IQ Office. Underneath Marketing, My Blogs. Annalise, that's a great question. So Annalise said, can you add a blog page to any design, or do you have to pick a design with a blog page? Annalise, if you choose a page that doesn't have a blog section like this one does, you can absolutely add that as a menu item. So you can either add it as a top menu item or a sub menu. Again, going into that menus, editing, and then underneath your IQ, there's going to be a section that says My Blog, and you can add that. And now it's at the top screen here. So you can link your blog through via the menu if you'd like. But to have it featured and show all the different interactions, right now you have to choose one that has a blog. Other questions? So we're just about at 45 minutes. I want to make sure that I am valuing your guys' time and giving you an opportunity to log in and work on things. You will get a copy of this recording. Are there any other questions that I can answer before we finish up here today? As you may be typing those questions, I do want to just point out a few references for you. One, we have a Facebook page, and this is a great place to ask questions about how to do things or best practices. We encourage all of you as users to join us. We work really hard to answer questions via video here. We also have a YouTube channel. So all of our webinars and all of this information is also shared on YouTube. And you can find that underneath Realistic Support. I'm also putting that link in the chat box. If you type or click on these links in the chat box, they're going to open in separate windows so that you have them open and you can actually utilize them. And the last thing that I am going to show you is how to access the upcoming trainings. So the upcoming trainings are Mondays at 8 a.m. Pacific time and 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. You can always find updated lists here. And all of our sessions are recorded as well. So we're more than happy to help you out with that. Register, you'll always get a copy of the recording as well. And you can find those on our on this page here. Jane put that last link in there. It says showtime.zoho.com. So if you click on that link in your chat box, it will open it up in a second box. Jane, up above your first comment in there, you should see my comment that says https showtime.zoho.com profile, you should be able to click on that link. Can I contact someone who may be able to correct the line in design 14? What line are you talking about, Pam? What line are you talking about? This one? This line right here where it says best real estate deals? The line at the top right underneath the menu. Oh, this line right here? Yeah, that is part of the design. So if you don't like that line, you're going to want to choose a different design. Other questions? Alrighty, if there are no other questions, I hope that you all have clicked on those links so that you can access us via Facebook, YouTube, and see our upcoming educational opportunities. I hope you all have a great day.